Hey, 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 it's your girl, Miss Trina with Chat with Trina. And as you know, it is Trina's favorite people month. And my guest today is Mr. Jabo from the Zydeco world. Hello, everybody. It is Miss Trina with Chat with Trina. And I want to thank you for making a choice to click in and chat with Trina. And remember, this is Trina's favorite people month because it is my birthday. And so I always have guests on who are some of my favorite people. And tonight is no different. I have hunted down, I had to hunt him down, Mr. Jabo. I ask people, can you find so and so for me? But Miss T, I always call Miss T. She can find who you need. Hey, Jabo.
How you doing, Miss Trina?
I'm doing so good. How are you doing?
I'm blessed, Miss Trina. I'm very blessed.
You look like I love your blue. I should have wore blue.
Oh
Well,
well.
we're gonna jump right in and get started. The Prince of Zydeco, am I right? Jabo. And I want to thank him so much for agreeing to chat with me today. And he's open to all my questions, and I like that. That's always makes it much easier. Tell me, what is your government name?
My government name is Donald Glenn.
Really? Well, where
Yes.
did Jabo come from?
Well, it came back a few years when I got started, and Jane Brown came to Houston at the Coliseum, and his drummer was got took sick, and they needed a drummer at the time, and I was in the audience, and somebody pointed me out, and I started playing one section with James Brown. I played about 5, 6 songs with James Brown, and the guy that was playing drum with him, his name was Jabo. Jabo's Martin. So they was and they started saying, well, we got another Jabo up here. We got a real Jabo. Now we got a Jabo. So they started teasing me with that. So after that, by me playing with James Brown, just wanted to keep that name, Jabo.
So it's stuck. Funny thing is, my stepdad, his name is Ronaldo. They call him Jabo. So where are you from?
Actually, I'm here in Houston. I was came up in Houston, but I was just born in Humble, Texas, right out of Houston. Right out of
Really?
yes, uh-huh.
What school you went
And
to?
I went to Bartlesville Elementary, and then I came on to Houston. I went to E.O. Smith Junior High School.
Okay.
I went to Lamar Fleming Junior High School, and then I went to
Okay.
Philly Wheatley.
Um, Now, is it okay? Oh, let me ask you. So, family, you have kids, children, people?
Oh yes, yes indeed. I got one girl and 6 boys.
Wow, you have a big, I've always been jealous of people with a big family. I love that. You have any
Yes.
grandbabies?
Oh sure, and great grandbaby.
And great babies. Isn't that nice? You
Mhm.
get to spoil them and then send them back home?
That's really nice. Uh, they pop on me to death, but I'm here for that. And I
Yeah.
get a chance to, and some I feel like by me being on the road a lot and doing a lot of those things that I got up in, I couldn't spend a quarter of time with some of my own. So
Right.
now God gave me an opportunity to do it again with the grands.
Right. That is good. That is true. I never thought about that.
Um,
Um, what was I gonna ask you? Sisters, brothers.
yes, I have one surviving brother and I have 2 sisters.
Okay. Okay. Um, when did you start singing?
Well, I started singing at a very young age. My grandpa taught me, everybody went to church, but my grandpa taught me one special song, gospel song, way back in the years that I was young, like about 6, 7 years old. And I wanted to feel like I was a musician. I wanted to play music. So I just started at home, started beating around tubs and things, buckets and things, and sing. So it was like at 8 years old I done it. But actually, when I call myself getting into professional, I would say in professional, I would say right about 18, 19.
Okay. Did you know you had a special gift before 18, 19?
I knew, yes, I did knew. I mean, because I was hungry
Mm,
to sing, and
yeah.
and and I didn't realize what talent and all that talent I had. I could play the bass guitar. I could play drums. I could play harmonica, um, and I was
Wow.
I was singing, and so I didn't realize those talents until I picked them up, and then later on down the road, by me being a Texan, I picked up an accordion and started playing Zydeco
And like Zydeco. Before you were doing Zydeco, what kind of music were you playing?
blues.
Okay. So that's why
I'm a
you
blue.
kind of fused your Zydeco and blues together.
Yeah, I'm a
Makes sense.
blues man. I love the blues.
Now, so you were self-taught with all those instruments, or did you take classes?
No, I ain't take no classes. I just pick them up, start playing them.
Wow. You play, so you
Yeah,
play by ear, of course.
play by ear. And
Okay.
I never wrote it in my songs down on paper to record. I always done it by ear, feelings, and what I
Okay.
feel. Just go in and record it.
And so that means you write music too.
I didn't write it. No, I just went in and record.
You didn't, oh, so you just go record.
I just go in there and record. And I don't even know what I want. And sometimes I go in and record. I don't even know what I'm gonna record.
Really? Now that's
That's why
amazing.
that's why I love the blues, because the blues is a lifestyle. Blues, you sing about the things that you see around you and things that you
You
experience.
know Trudy Lynn, right?
True, I know truly.
She told me that. She said it's a feeling. It's a That's why she's particular about who plays with her, because you have to have that feeling of the blues.
Right, you do.
So yeah.
And
Um
she is a truly blues woman.
she really is. I actually, after I interviewed her, because I hadn't seen her in person either. I went last year to see her perform live. And I was like, wow, she's amazing. When did you decide you wanted to make money, do this and make some money?
Well, I was making money at 16. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I moved in the area of Fifth Ward, and when I moved in Fifth Ward, uh, as I get on my bicycle, we ride
Yeah.
down the street, and that was a little place, a little cafes and beer joint, and I would just go, and I couldn't get in, but I would go up there because I see all the peoples up there. I ain't an old soul, and I see
Yeah.
all the peoples up there, and a couple of old guys would come in, and they was impressed with the way I sing. They want to bring me in, put me on the pool table, and let me sing. So they started giving me quarters and nickels and 50 cents and stuff like that.
Really?
And I was very happy and amazed to get that at my time. Yeah, yeah, very
That's when you
happy.
figured out that you can do some music with all this talent. Because I
Right.
really think it's cool that you can play so many instruments.
And yeah, and I kept going, Miss Trina.
Mm-hmm.
I kept pushing at it. I had the ups and downs, but I kept pushing at it. I stayed strong in it. And I kept believing in myself.
Mm-hmm.
Whether anyone else did or not, I kept believing in myself. And so down the road, I met a young lady, and actually she was my lady friend,
Mm-hmm.
and she said, "Do you ever think about recording?" I said, "I sure do want to record one day." I said, "One day I want to record me something." She said, "Well, you know what? I'll save up a little money. How much think it'll take you to record?" I said, "Oh, it'll take a like some good little money for that." She said, "But how much?" I said, "About $400 or $500." And she said, "Well, I have saved up that, and I'm gonna give you this." And she gave me $700 and told me to go record and whatever. And I ran to the studio and I
With that
recorded it.
$700?
Yeah, but it only cost me, I read about 300, read it 300 some dollars recorded. So I
Okay.
recorded it, and once I recorded it in 1985,
Mm.
and the last part 1985, and so the biggest record label in Louisiana called Flat Time Music, Mason the
Mm-hmm.
Soul, they heard it and they sent for me. They wanted to talk to me. And I was amazed for that because that's the label that Good Rockin' Cindy was on.
Oh,
Don't Mess with My
really?
Tutu,
Uh-huh.
Buckwheat Zydeco, Christian Chanel,
So
John
that label did a
Delacour.
lot of Zydeco.
Oh, yeah. And country and western. So I was impressed and they set a date for me to come in. And I went in and he talked to me like me and you talking. He said, well, you know what? You have your own unique style and your own
Mm-hmm.
voice. And I like that. He said, I like your rugged voice. And he said, your deep rugged voice. I like that. He said, now, the song that I heard on you, he said, can we do something on it? I said, yes, sir. And sure enough, this song right here, this is it. This is
A
a single.
record? Oh my God, a 45. Look at you.
Yeah,
Youngsters, do
1986.
y'all know what that is? Do y'all know what that is?
1986.
Wow.
And I recorded that. I don't want it all, just a teeny weeny bit. 1986, and it went by, and since it was a major label, it was all
Mm-hmm.
overseas. It was overseas, all overseas, and that's when I started getting my bookings going overseas in France, Belgium, Netherlands, all over there. That's when I started getting booked over there pretty regular.
So
And
would you say, I don't mean to cut you off, I'm sorry, but I know
sure,
I've heard that from other blues artists. It's some Zydeco, but mainly blues artists, that overseas is really where they appreciate you guys a lot.
Well, you know, yeah, they love music there. And you know, cause I'm gonna be honest about it. I have to say, must I say that right here in my own city, uh, from music loving peoples, all over, I still get a lot of recognition and a lot of respect. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that it really, in spite of, I still get a lot of recognition, a lot of respect. You
That's
know,
good. That's
yeah.
good.
So it's a blessing. Matter of fact, I want to just make sure I ain't gonna be going through all this now because I got so many. Bro, I got so many. But in 2019, um, everyone came out. As you can see, this here is from the Houston City Council member at large one. Okay, he gave this to me hands on. This here was the United States Congress with Sheila Lee Jackson and all of them. She gave me this here hands on. Okay, this here was with United States Congress with Al Green, Congress Al Green. Gave it to me hands on. And this him is from the city of Houston, controlled it off of Mr. Robert. Okay, he gave it to me hands on. And this here, I'm just going on. This here was another one.
What is that
so,
one?
I mean, yeah, Sheila Jackson. And so this here from the state of Texas. This is what the state of Texas when they the state of Texas, you know, out of Austin. Okay. Yeah. And this here was the Texas. This was the Texas Syndicate office. Texas Syndicate office. Okay, yeah. They get to me hands on. This here was Ron Elliott, the commissioner of Harris County Precinct 1.
Yeah, Ronnie Ellis. Yes.
Right. And so, you know, I was on with so many, and I got a lot of more, but I'm not going to take this time to go through all that. But it's just so amazing how they really honor me like they did, you know?
Right.
And at home, that's a blessing, you know?
It is. We were talking yesterday for a little bit, and you mentioned to me that you were the first Black on a magazine, right? What was that?
1992. I was the first Black artist in an all-white suburb magazine called the Texas Monthly Magazine.
Texas Monthly, yes.
That was, they can Google it. It was the June issue of 1992.
1992.
The June issue.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, it was June. Yeah, June issue, 1992. The Texas Monthly.
And they did a feature on you.
The whole front cover, and then they did a whole page on it.
Have you ever played with a band? Like, was it ever Jabo and so, or were you always solo?
No. I had bands.
Okay.
I always had bands. And it was Jabo first. I started out with Jabo and the Southside Playboys.
Okay.
And I used that for a long, that name with bands for different bands for a long time. And right now I still use a band, and it's Jabo, Texas Prince, and it's Southern Choice Zydeco and Blues Band.
Okay. So have you ever, I mean, I'm sure sometimes you play solo, but most time you have your band.
No, I don't never probably play solo.
Okay.
I have sometimes, you know, do track shows, but that's actually we're doing different type of music. It's not doing Zydeco. You can't do the Zydeco solo Zydeco. Yeah.
Does anyone else in your family play music, sing or play instruments?
Yeah, I got a son. They call him the Jabo Jr. And he plays the accordion and sing. And everybody know him. Familiar with him. Yes, he plays and trying to sing. And I have a couple other boys that they don't do it professional, but they do it. They do it.
They do it here.
Yeah, I've been in the Jam Source magazine. I had the front page on it. Also, you can Google it. It's called Jam Source. You can get that up on Google. Jam Source magazine. So I also been in the Houston Press. The Houston Press.
I did see that one. I saw that one. I was looking that up today.
Okay, and the Houston Chronicle, just several different ones. And actually, I was mentioned in 22 international books.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking about. The book.
And matter of fact, I have another. I should get it, but I don't get. I got a book that I'm in now, and it's got a lot of great pictures, and it got a lot of great Zydeco players in it.
Really? I wonder if that's the book Joe Norman talks about sometimes.
It might be. It's called Texas Zydeco. Texas Zydeco.
What are some of the legendary performers that you've been around or played with?
Well, a lot of the guys that I right now I got a friend still living by the name of Ruth Davis. Him and I real
Yeah.
tight. Ruth Davis, I got Ruth started in the music back in the days. I got him, brought him out, and I heard that voice. And his mother had me coming and see her practice. He was a gospel singer, and
Uh-huh.
she wanted me to hear Ruth Davis, and I heard him. And she had me got hip him. I said, sure. And he got a good voice, and I brought him out, and he caught on in a few minutes, and ever since then he was moving on.
Yes, he's another one that got to get him on here so we can talk to him. And the cool thing about y'all, y'all been around so long that you have so much history. It would take 4 or 5 shows to really get all the history.
But it took it not cutting you off. It took
No, you're fine.
every major show that's where I came in this city, from
Mm-hmm.
Tyrone Davis, Marvin C, Johnny Taylor, Millie Jackson, Denise LaSalle, Rudy Ray
Yeah.
Moore, you name them. I was on the show. I met Cliff Neal on maybe 1 or 2 occasions before he passed. I
Okay.
sure did. And Cliff would talk to me for sit in his van and talk to me about an hour before his last show.
Wow.
Yes, and I met him. Yeah, we talked to I really love to talk to him. He all because I used that's who inspired me to play Zydeco.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he was the king of Zydeco, and everybody he was international. So everybody around the world knew Zydeco through Cliff Chanel.
What did you learn from some of those older cats? Like, did anyone give you any advice?
Oh yeah, many of them. And plus I picked up a lot of things from them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, at that time, and I still believe in it today, that any artists that step on stage should be well dressed, well groomed. And I learned that you should be well groomed, and you have to look like an artist to be an artist. To me, if
Yeah.
you go out there and you looking like the people in the audience or somebody else
Mm-hmm.
off the streets, and then that takes points away from your
From the show.
professionalism. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I never believe in musician really drinking on stage and performing.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, that
Mm-hmm.
looked bad. So I learned a lot of that as I played with those type of guys, and they
Mm-hmm.
all played with great bands, Bobby Blue Bland and all of them, and they all would dress. ZZ Hill, I mean,
Yeah.
just name them.
Yeah. Sure,
Beau
you met
Jacque,
Beau Jacque.
yeah, Beau Jacque came to me. Me and Blues Zydeco was playing in Beaumont, Texas, at a place called Mercedes, and me and Blues Zydeco was playing there. Beau Jacque was not playing at the time. Beau Jacque
Yeah.
came up to me. I was at the bar taking a break, and he came to me and he said, "Will you sign this record for me? My wife love it." And he brought my record they called 9 Pound of Steel. He wanted me to autograph it. I looked at him and I did. He said, "I got a record coming out in a couple of months." He said, "I'm gonna be playing Zydeco." I looked at him up inside myself, I wish he'd go head on. I don't know who this is, and
That's what you thought about
Beau Jacque,
Beau
yeah,
Jacque.
yeah. I say, I wish he go. Who is this anyway? I wish he go head on. Big old tall red guy, and he was just excited. And I signed the record for him, and he was just talking. Oh yeah, we gonna come out. Really, we gonna come out in 2 months. We're gonna be coming out with our new Zydeco. I said that's good, man. I thought he was just carrying on. Cause a lot of people sometimes they be
Right.
carrying on.
Right.
And when he came out, he just tore the Zydeco market up, and
That's
I
what
couldn't
I've
believe it.
heard.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
But you remembered you signed his record.
I remember signing this record, and I couldn't believe it. And we had a couple of performing together in Port Arthur and different places, but I just couldn't believe that this guy, the same guy that came to me and got that autograph for his wife on that
Mm-hmm.
record, that guy told me he was gonna come out with a song in 2 months or so, and he came out that hot. I couldn't believe it.
I'm gonna just say this in general first that it's so hard sometimes younger people you're not supposed to say youngsters anymore. That's not politically correct. You're supposed to say young people. So young people, sometimes it's hard for them they have a difficult time taking advice from us seasoned saints. Do
Right.
you give advice to people or do you wait for them to ask for it? Do you try to help out when you
All
see
the
new
time.
people?
All the time.
Okay. And
Um,
it depends on if they receive it or not, I guess.
you know, um, I can sense now as I got to be older,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it have paid off because I do get calls from several younger Zydeco blues artists to check on me on a daily basis, and that make me feel good. So
That
I
is
know
good.
I knew that. Hey, I done something
In
good.
2014, you had an accident. You were actually carjacked and robbed at gunpoint.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. You know, I never knew it was a shock to me. That was in August the 8th, 2014. I was just coming from Dallas. Me and a female friend of mine,
Mm-hmm.
and I went just had picked up a deposit and some money and came back from out of Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize what was happening. And when she was driving, then she pulled it in the yard. And when she pulled it in the yard, eventually, right then, that's when someone pulled behind us. And that's when I didn't realize what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, she looked in the mirror and she said, these guys that's coming up there. And I do what guys. And so I got out and I wanted to try to protect her. Mostly, probably could have ran but I didn't.
Right.
I was back there fighting. Next thing I knew, I hit a shot, and that was me getting shot.
Wow. And you were it was pretty bad because you were in intensive care right?
Right, I was on life support.
Life support. Okay, okay. That is such a blessing that you made it through. So it was meant. I always know that to me, it always means that you have more work to do.
Well, I tell all the believers, if you're a true believer and you have faith, then you truly have to believe. You truly have to put all faith and believe in the higher power. Yeah. If you do that, and if you truly do that, regardless, hey, it'll work. It'll work for you. Yeah. And if he wants you to come on, then nothing gonna stop that.
Ain't
but
if he ain't ready,
if he ain't ready for you to come on, and then gonna stop that.
You're gonna be there. Do you think that you guys were followed?
You know what? I really don't think so. But I don't think so. But I just don't want to go into the details of what I think.
Right. I understand that.
Totally understand. But the guys, they did get caught.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they got caught.
Oh, good.
And so, it was like I say, everything worked out the way it would, what happened, but.
Well, that's good they got caught. I was mugged about 4 years ago. Wasn't a gunpoint. I always tell them, I said, they must have looked at me and said, she's so little, we don't need no gun with her. But anyway, it wasn't a gunpoint. But I did get mugged and it was very scary. And so I still to this day have a little PTSD. Do you have any of that with you? Or?
Yeah, post-traumatic stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got diagnosed with post-traumatic stress as well.
Yeah, it's a scary thing.
And anxiety and depression.
Yeah, it can cause all of that. Well, I'm glad you're here and you survived.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Is the Zydeco scene a lot different than it was back when you were out and about Zydecoing?
No.
You think it's close to being the same?
I'm old school. So I'm going to say it like this. I still love the old school way. I had to stay in that zone.
Yeah.
Because I feel that I feel in blues, Zydeco, there's a traditional that our ancestors made a way for us. And they was on the back porch doing this music. And they were having a feast, as they call it in the Bible, feast. And so they were having la-la. And so they were out there, and so they was just playing this music, happy music. Zydeco is a happy music.
It's a happy music, yeah.
Right, and they was playing this music, enjoying themselves, cooking and with families. And that was a great music for a family gathering, for the whole family. The female, the male, the kids, and all.
Yeah.
And so nowadays in time, things must change, I guess, and things have changed. So sometime in this music genre, we don't be careful on what we put in our music. That's the type of crowd that we'll start drawing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would feel like if you keep it more traditional, a lot of the other younger peoples wouldn't want to start putting a little more rap in your music and all that in it. You're gonna draw that crowd. That crowd sometimes is not visible. You understand? Because at a young age, they trying to drink, they trying to smoke, they trying to do things, and their mind is not set with that yet. You know what I'm saying? And then they
Yeah.
get to acting a little wild. You know what I'm saying? So, not to criticize anybody in music or what they do, because everybody gifted and talented to play their music the way they want to play it. But me, I choose to keep it old school and traditional, and that way, hey, a lot of my old school people still want
They
to
can
have
come out and feel
they,
safe.
they can come out and feel safe.
I dance. I'm a part of a dance community, so we do a lot of Houston two-step and swing out and stuff. And sometimes there's an issue when people put new things into the dance, which I like seeing some of the tricks. I even like doing some of the tricks. However, I've heard the term watered down to where it's not really the Houston two-step dance that we know. Do you feel that way sometimes about I don't know about the blues. I've never seen them changing the blues, but Zydeco, do you think sometimes things happen to where it's not really, I guess what you just said earlier, it's not really a traditional Zydeco song, which is okay. We just don't want to go too far to where it's not Zydeco, right?
Well, yes, and I see that maybe a few of our Zydeco artists, they draws more of the younger youth crowd, and that's their intention.
Yeah, that's true.
That's their intention. Because actually, they're more of a big supporter. The more of the
spend the money.
Right, the more young youth crowd. We may have some ups and downs with them, but they gonna draw.
That's true.
The crowd. Unlike me, I'd rather have 15, 20 people in the house and have peace and everybody be safe than to have 200 people in the house and everybody ain't safe.
I get that. I definitely get that. But the blues, I think that's kind of interesting that the blues doesn't really change. Would you say that that's true?
The blues do not change because
you
you don't find too many young men or women singing the blues.
The blues.
The blues have always been what it is, the blues. Now we have what you call the folk blues, which is the blues, low down blues, which through B.B. King.
Oh, okay.
The other culture of peoples adopted the blues. And our people
like
kind of got
like Elvis?
Well, no, he wasn't bluesy. He was like
I've heard back in the day that people used to say Elvis took our music, so I thought it was the blues stuff he took.
No.
Okay.
You know what? You can say blues. I mean, anyway, I'm gonna tell you something. If you got your music on a platform, all the great music fall up under the platform of blues and gospel. Those two is hand in hand. Blues and gospel is relatives. Okay. You understand? Because them, like I said, those are two music that our ancestors did back in the day. Blues and gospel. You understand?
Okay. Yeah.
And so, like I say, you don't find, because sometimes blues happen to be I would call a love song, a sad song, or whatever. And youngsters trying to dance, they're trying to shake it. They don't want to hear that. They're trying to twerk.
DJ. Let a DJ.
yeah. So they gonna call mystical. Yeah, they'll call mystical. Yeah. Like I say, blues is a music all by itself, and that's why I love the blues, because they have a platform, and blues have been adopted international over the world.
Yeah.
Right. And they
love
that's
why
the
when
blues.
You said that earlier about going overseas, I remember you saying that, Trina Lynn said that, and I was like, wow, I didn't realize until I talked to her and now you, that it was so, like, it's international. I had no idea.
Blues is very much international.
Yeah.
Very much. Blues, I mean, it's you got a lot of different music under the category of blues. You got
Mm-hmm.
rhythm and blues, you know what I'm saying? Rhythm and blues,
Mm-hmm.
country blues. You got all, but blues is in the category of all by himself in the family. And so rhythm and blues, which is R&B and all that, that's all that's international.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
international.
I was gonna ask a question. Zydeco. So, when they do like the Grammys and these award shows, right? You got blues in there. Why do you think Zydeco? I mean, I think Zydeco is in there, but it's not like a major category. All the years we've had Zydeco, do you have a thought of why Zydeco is not mainstream when it comes to those shows like that, Grammys?
Well, don't you know? I don't think you heard, but don't you know how many Zydeco players have got a Grammy?
I don't. Let me just say no. I don't.
Well, it's quite a bit of them. Lil Pop just
Really?
got one. Lil Pop, Lil Det just got one, I think, last year or so ago.
Okay.
And
School
actually,
me.
yeah, actually, you have about maybe 5 or 6 Zydeco artists that got Grammys award, and then you have a few more of them that have been nominated, but they
Yeah,
actually do
yeah.
have Grammys. So, I mean, Zydeco have, like I say, have been a big impact in in
Mm-hmm.
in, in the world. Because Zydeco,
Community.
they got more Zydeco going overseas than anything.
Gotcha.
You know.
Yeah, that was another surprise to me that Zydeco, like I thought Zydeco was in Texas and Louisiana, and then I found out later that California has a calling for it. Germany has a following for Zydeco. That was definitely something I learned.
Well, it's because at that time, Zydeco, like I said, this label him was one of the biggest Zydeco label in the world, and it was a major
What's it
record
called
label.
again?
Mason Soul.
Mason Soul.
Yeah, let me see. Can you see it? See that Mason Soul? So
uh,
that Mason Soul was one of the biggest Zydeco label in the world, and they really get your music out there. And like right now, believe it or not, I recorded another LP
mm-hmm.
in 1990, and believe it or not, you can still go online and purchase that LP. But most of the time, I think they purchasing it for souvenir because it's still an LP,
Oh,
and they still selling it.
really? Yeah.
Walmart stores and all, they still selling it,
Wow.
and
Wow.
it's still selling. So, like I said, that's in 1990.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when you're dealing with a major label like that, it's really good because
Mm-hmm.
they really get your music out there, and so that's why Zydeco was so blessed. Because, like I say, Christian Chanel opened the doors for
A
people like
lot of
myself
people.
and other
Mm-hmm.
people to get out, and all you had to do was know how to play the music and sing and get on out there.
Get on out
And
there.
myself, I'm was original
Mm-hmm.
because I don't play Zydeco. I
Mm-hmm.
play what you call, I got my own helmet, what you call Zyde Blues.
So,
Yeah, Zyde Blues.
yeah.
So yeah, so I put a blues kicking in with the accordion, and I
Mm-hmm.
call it Zyde Blues. You
Okay.
know, uh, when I was in New Orleans, the French Market Festival,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when they had Rockin' Deuce there, and he was the Prince of Zydeco. Rockin' Deuce was the Prince of Zydeco, and
Okay.
they called me on the stage. When I got ready to go up on the stage to go do my performance, they started calling me the Texas Prince of Zydeco.
That's why you have the Texas.
That's right. So
Gotcha.
I was the Texas Prince of Zydeco, and
Gotcha.
Rockin' Deuce was the Crown Prince of Zydeco.
Okay.
See, so that made a difference. So they would say, well, he out of Texas, and this is a Texas guy. So yeah, he's a prince too. He's a Texas prince though.
The Texas Prince. What has been some of the tough things about, like, what are the things that you had to hurdles that you've had to jump over?
A minute,
That many? Just get
a minute.
one.
Oh, well, I took a hike
Mm,
back in 1996.
okay.
I found myself dealing with issues with the law,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and so I wound up have to take on the judicial, and
Okay.
I wound up losing,
Mm-hmm.
and I wound up doing 8 years incarceration.
Wow. Okay.
And so that was in 1996.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was one of the toughest and roughest road that I had to cross. But then I had to come back and go back and try to regain myself in so many other ways to regain my popularity back, and then try to gain it back, and then try to gain the fans and the peoples and society back. You see,
Right.
so you have to work hard, and you have to live in a certain type of way to do that.
Yeah.
So those things there came about, and then after that, it was kind of hard getting into certain venues and certain things. Just like if you get a felony, it's hard to get a job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And it'd be hard to get a job. So it was hard to get in certain venues and whatever.
Really?
And you have to live through the criticism and whatever. But yet and still, when you got this in your soul, and you know, understand me, hey, that you gave it all to God, and you got it in your soul, and you realize the things that you've done, and you realize that it was wrong and whatever, and you could redeem yourself. First of all, you got to first deal with yourself. So I took that time to deal with myself, within myself, deep. You understand what I'm saying? And when I done that, I realized that, hey, if you're gonna ever get together, it's your time now to get together.
Get it together.
You can't ever go back into the dumps again like this. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I tell people some of the things that I experienced in life, and a lot of people won't say, but maybe being a true Christian or man of God now, I realized that a lot of the things I went through afterwards, I had to reap what I sowed.
What you sowed. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the word said you shall reap what you sow. And so I had to reap some things that I was sowing. I had sowed. So you see, my seeds wasn't good seeds. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
And that's my testimony.
Yeah.
It's nothing to be proud of, nothing to brag about, but it's my testimony.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would tell any younger musicians, be careful in what you do. If music is so easy to get caught up in, try to free away from all the drinking, all the drugs, all the smoking, all the homemonger. Try to get away from that and just use it as a strictly business.
Yeah.
And
because this is a business.
There's a business. Today. And stay focused. You know what I'm saying? Stay focused. That's the main thing you got to do. Stay focused.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just stay alert, because that's what I learned from it. You learn from all the challenges of life, because a lot of that stuff, when you start reading the Bible, when I started reading the Bible in 98, it scared me up.
Because you start seeing the truths, and you started seeing and reflecting on that stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it scared me up. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But I reading it, and I had to understand what I was reading.
Yeah.
So, like I say, music again is in my soul, my spirit. Music again is a part of my life. That's all I ever done was play music.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. I enjoy playing the music. I also enjoy sharing it. And I also enjoy passing it on, the torch on to anybody else that I can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's what it's all about. And I try to inspire any people out there, male, female, young or older.
Yeah.
To just try to stay focused and be aware of all the things that you can, right, of all the things that you can fall into, and not even knowing, just like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so true.
And
so true.
So to keep it real, that's my testimony. Yeah, and I have to tell
sharing that. I appreciate you sharing that. I really do.
Yeah, I have to tell that testimony and my testimony all the time. Yeah. Because that's why I'm still here.
Yes, definitely. And it's gonna help the next person behind you.
I hope so.
Yeah. So that's definitely a big challenge, but I totally thank you sincerely to sharing that. Now we'll flip it and ask you, what is the most joy that you get out of what you do?
Well, it's so much joy that I get out of it. Most of all, is being professional in this thing. Uh, Playing, traveling. I'm traveling not as much as it used to be to me, but the
Mhm.
playing, the traveling, uh, you know, all the great things that came with it,
Yeah, watching people have a good time too. I like that
watching have a
part.
good time and
Hmm.
things like that. It's just so many great things that came with it. And
Yeah.
I love the challenge of recording my own music without writing pencil and
Without
paper.
writing it,
Right. Just
that's
going
still
in.
amazing to me.
Uh,
That's amazing to me.
that's why I love the blues.
Yeah. Because the blues
You
is
know what
just a
I'm
story, and it's all up in here, as Miss Trudy Lynn says. It's all in here.
saying?
Do you dance? Can you dance?
I be dancing.
You be
You know,
dancing?
yeah, I be dancing. Um, on my show, I dance and I do a spin around, and I just turn around and do a one hand push up. Yeah, that's one thing about the music. I like entertaining. I like showman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If
Mm-hmm.
you notice, in my time, most of the people was before my time. It was all showman. Jackie Wilson
Yeah.
was a showman. James Brown was a showman.
He was a
Michael Jackson
showman.
was a showman. Everybody was a showmanship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It came with the package.
Yeah. And that's what makes the audience get excited. Sometimes, and not criticizing anybody, but there's a band that I'm actually going to see this weekend. It's an R&B band, but they are so full of energy all from the start of the show, Jabo, to the end of the show. They are excited. You would think this is just their third or fourth show, because they're what you call hungry. They're hungry and they always want to entertain, and they look at nobody's watching, they watch. Nobody's sitting back drinking a beer. Like, they are there for their audience. And I find that in some other bands that I've gone to see, it's like, I don't know if they've gotten bored with what they do or something like that, but they're not giving you that entertainment, that little extra thing that you do.
Right.
And I
Well,
don't know if people realize that that's what the audience sometimes needs to get their party on.
you right. And Miss Trina, even though I love music,
Mm-hmm.
I never been a type of. I just never liked to go out to
Mm-hmm.
club.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
think that maybe that might. I look at that. That might be a minus by me.
Mm-hmm.
But now I do attend some of the functions.
Some of the functions.
Yeah, I do attend some of the functions. I have
Mm-hmm.
always been that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, not wanting to go clubbing. I never was a clubber. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I
Did you
just
do the trail
never.
rides? Did you ever do the trail ride scene?
Uh-uh.
Okay. Okay.
I played for trail ride, but I just never
You just
got up
went to
into it.
play, and that was all you was doing.
Time for me to go.
Time
Time for
to
me to go.
go.
You
I
know,
get that.
I mean, that's just a lot of the things. Just never have really been. Even though I've been in this music field,
Mm-hmm.
some of the things I can say, I'm proud to say that
Mm-hmm.
I never did drugs in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I was never no drinker
Mm-hmm.
and no smoker. You know, so that was a few great things about my career.
Yeah, definitely you didn't get tempted with that kind. Well, I'm sure you were tempted, but you have to
Right.
know how to say no and back up. So let me ask you this. What do you do to just chill and relax and just chill and
Well,
relax?
versus then to now,
Mm-hmm.
versus then when I was traveling and being treated the way I was treated, going to the different countries and states and cities, I was relaxing. Just that was that was my relaxation.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but now that I'm very kind of like used to that,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm very real used to that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so actually just watching television,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
kicking it with the grandkids a while. We go
Yeah.
and let them go out and take them to do things. You know what I'm saying? My
Yeah.
grandboys and things.
Yeah.
And so basically when I feel like it and got that time, that's what I would do.
Mhm.
And that's basically what I, you know. That's an
So,
old man. That's what I like.
just chilling and relaxing is how I chill and
Just
relax.
chilling and relaxing. Just chilling and relaxing.
Do you still perform publicly?
I do.
Okay. If somebody wanted to book you, they just reach out to you and talk to you about how to get
Right.
you.
That's what they
Okay.
do.
And y'all,
I
I'll
do.
say that all you have to do is Google, and all of his music pops up. It's also, I used one of your songs today on Facebook, because you can do like a story and you click music and different songs come up, and I put your name in and some of your songs popped up. So I was able to use it in one of my stories on Facebook today.
Oh,
That was
okay.
kind of cool.
Well, you know what? You know, I got a song called Facebook Love now.
Oh, that would
You
be
got to,
me.
you got to Google it again. You got to Google it. I mean, you know, if you're on YouTube and you got to
Yeah,
put
I am.
Jabo, the Texas Prince of Zydeco Blues, and
Yeah,
put Facebook Love. Now that's a hit.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
I definitely
I just
will.
got on one of the major charts.
Really?
Another one major chart here like what last week or two ago.
Get out of
Facebook
here.
Love.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, look
Facebook
at
Love.
you.
And I got another song that's another hit called Corona Blues.
And it's more a blues song than Zydeco, then I guess.
You know, it's like a Southern
Mixture.
soul song.
Okay. So what do you think? See a difference in Southern soul and blues?
They
Or you
are.
think it's together?
No, they are. They're different.
Okay.
They are different.
The blues will be a little slower, I guess, and a little bit more storytelling.
Well, not slower. They say slower because they're doing Southern soul. They do a lot of slow music too in Southern soul. But I think my opinion that Southern soul more related to R&B than it is blues.
I can see that. Okay. Do you have any last words that you want to give to the watchers that are watching tonight, but also when they see my YouTube video? It's going to be a YouTube video.
I want to tell them, you know, subscribe to your channel because I mean you have some exciting chat interviews and all. Some great artists that you're doing that you are chatting with and interviewing. People like my friend Trudy Lynn and all of my peoples. And I would just tell people to subscribe to your channel. They want to know what's really going on. International, Texas or Houston or wherever.
All
Just,
over.
They're all over. Just subscribe to your channel like I'm gonna do.
Yes.
And follow you and keep up with all the great music and musicians and everything. And I would say
y'all heard it from Jabo. Y'all heard that from the Texas Prince.
I just want to say also I want to give a shout out to Mel Sandra Hines over in Sunnyside. Okay. I want to give a shout out to her. She worked with the elders and the childrens, and she's very consistent with that. And I call her queen within a queen because right here in Houston as well. I know it's international, but right here in Houston, I know several strong queens that I say that it truly is a strong queen. And she's one of them. Yeah. And I'd like to give a shout out to her.
That's great what she's doing.
Quite a bit of them, it's quite a bit of them here. I don't want to just start naming people, because I don't want to leave nobody out. Definitely. But I just want to say that we have some lovely queens here, and we have much love for you all, and we want you to keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing a great job, and really, it's no discrimination against you. Against anybody on your show, I see, and I appreciate you inviting me up here. And thank you so very much. And may God continue to bless you what you're doing and keep on being successful.
Thank you, Jabo. I want to give a special shout out though to someone who I just adore and who helped me find you, Miss T. Miss T, thank you. I know you're not gonna see it. I can't get Miss T to come on the show. She's trying to say she's too shy. So she says she's too shy. But I'm gonna get her one of these days. But I want to thank Miss T for helping me and Jabo get connected, and we're not gonna ever lose this connection, Jabo, because you have great advice, and I love getting advice and wisdom from people who are seasoned and been there, done that. You know what I mean?
Right. And I want to thank Miss T as well.
Yeah.
T chasing. I've been knowing Miss T I've been knowing her for a long time.
Really?
And she had the venue club
out in
Rendezvous Acres Home. And she's also, matter of fact, I'm sitting here on something here that Miss T. I keep it right here on my desk. One of my things that she gave to Jabo.
She loves, loves honoring people and letting people know what a
Right,
great job they did. She also
right,
honored me with something one time, and it
right.
means so much to know that people notice what you're doing and that they appreciate what you're doing. Not that that's what you do it for, but it feels good when someone does notice. So Miss
That's
T is a
right.
good lady. She's one of the queens. She is one of the queens.
She's one,
Well,
definitely one of the queens.
one of the queens is still doing stuff every day. I thought she had a party for retirement. She said, no, it was just celebrate my 38th year there. I was like, I thought you retired, but
Hey, she's not gonna retire from nothing.
nothing, nothing. She liked to move too much.
Yeah,
So
she gonna
thank
stay
you
on the
again,
go.
Jabba. I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed not only talking to you today, but our little chat yesterday was really nice, and I learned so much about you. And thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join me today.
And I appreciate you having me. And thank you so very much. And thank all your listeners. And like I say, y'all go and please subscribe to this very lovely YouTube channel. So y'all won't
Yes,
miss out on
chat
nothing.
with
You never know.
Trina.
That's right. Tell them again.
Chat with Trina.
All right.
We have to come up with a blues song. Chat with Trina Blues.
Most definitely. Most
Come up
definitely.
with something. Well, y'all, I want to tell y'all too, thank y'all for making the choice to click in with us. We're going to put it on YouTube. And when I post it, y'all make sure y'all share it because everyone needs to hear the wise words from Mr. Texas Prince Jabo. I've been saying Texas Prince Zydeco. Texas Prince Jabo.
Right.
Thank you again, Jabo. And I hope to see you soon, sweetheart.
You take care, Miss Trina. You have a great and blessed
Thank you, you too.
continuance.
Bye.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Jabo, for joining me today. I really appreciate for you joining me for Trina's Favorite People Month, celebrating my birthday all month long. And it was great getting to know some more about you. Guys, I hope you learned a lot from Jabo. Make sure y'all go to youtube.com/chatwithtrina, subscribe, and then hit the bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video.